Say it isn't so, it isn't so. Oh, oh, oh. Say it isn't so, it isn't so. Girl, ma'am. I want to sound like Nancy Kerrigan after Tanya Harding. They said pull that pipe out on the skating contest to win. And Nancy was going, why? Why? Well, Tanya Harding wanted to win. I cannot. If you don't know what to say, if you're not very, in my opinion, intelligent, maybe just say no further comment. So we already see the youth in America are out of control. Denzel said it. I concur, agree. It starts in the home. But Big Mama Franklin says, no, she disagrees with that. He's not a 5-year-old. He's 17, as if he's grown, paying a mortgage or paying a rent. And I look at her, and I don't want to be, she's a cute face, but you fit the stereotype. In my opinion, I'm sorry. Like, I just see ghetto baby mama Franklin. I'm sorry, that's how I see her. Because when you come out with something, that statement, it's not you're not accountable. You think it's not your fault? He's 17. He's a teenager. Are we raising children or raising nooligans? And a nooligan is a black hooligan. Running down the street with a gun in his hand. Why couldn't he just stop? Why couldn't he just stop? Maybe if he had stopped, and I don't think, I think the police just shot him in the back. I don't know whatever the reason was, but seriously, people say, oh, you're not supposed to just shoot him in the back. He wasn't a threat. I hate to tell you this here. The fact that he's 17, and especially with the ghetto fabulous mother, how she appears to me, he's a threat. Now he gets shot in the back. The cops just shot him in the back. Again, why didn't you just stop? Now he's shot in the back. In the hospital. Now facing charges as an adult. But it ain't my fault. Did I do that? It ain't my fault. Ma'am, whose responsibility is that child? I bet you claim him on your taxes, huh? Might be claiming him on her rent. Why? Because that is your responsibility. That is your responsibility. I keep saying for black women, the next 5 years, having all these babies, it needs to stop. Because a lot of people, just like her, I'm sorry, I just think you don't have common sense down. We're in Baltimore. Why put yourself in a position where if you engage in this certain activity with this type of man, it's going to land you there financially. But you can't tell us nothing. So whose responsibility is it? Her and her man, the father? And you don't see him around, do you? You think black women get pregnant by eating pepperoni pizza? Every time something goes on with a child, every now and then we see a dad or a grandfather. Surprise! It's not her fault. Ma'am, whose is it? He's not grown. What does she do? Okay, what's his name? Mackay Franklin. Okay, Mackay, I already packed your lunch. You got your backpack and got your gun. Extra clip. Okay, son, you have a good day in school today. Where do they do that at? That's what I'm saying. The next 5 years, the baby mama train needs to stop. Breeding dysfunction. Has he been attacked in Baltimore, been robbed? Is that why he's having a gun? But he's running wild from the police with a gun. What if the fact that he's 17 and has a gun, to me, in my opinion, he's a threat. What if the gun falls down and then, it fell down, somebody gets shot? Let me guess, not my son. It ain't my fault. He's 17, like he's 5 years old. What are you there for as a parent? Taking on jobs that you don't even understand. Like the video I did about the eulogy and Jackie O. Do they know what a eulogy is? It's not for you to get up there and ramble and talk about science and Adam and Eve. What the huh? Taking on roles to have no comprehension, no understanding. This part of element is probably going to be chased out. Either I'm starved out. I hate to tell you. You saw prior in the news they got 20 to 30 cops who had planned days off. Canceled. Why? Because they are now having this curfew enforcement. A curfew enforcement for teens. And you shouldn't have to say that. The parents, if you give a darn and raising your child, you know it's unsafe. Why is your child out at night past the curfew? See, a lot of our people don't want to follow rules. Don't want to follow rules. Then they have the nerve, and they said then they have the audacity to ask somebody to volunteer up to 2 o'clock in the morning for the curfew of the youth, and the youth is up here packing 9mm stolen guns. But you want somebody to sit up here, a volunteer now, to go ahead and watch over the youth. Hell, he got 9mm. I don't need to watch over him. You might end up getting got. And you know, most of the people I'm sorry in the community are highly emotional. Can't work out a difference. It'll lead to a fight or a shooting. Enforce the youth curfew for the summer. You want somebody to volunteer up to 2 o'clock in the morning. I beg your pardon? They want to keep living too. The youth are out of control. Why the parents can't keep your darn kid inside? Why don't we check everybody's reading level? See, she reminds me of the same parents when the kid's sitting up here at 15 and can't read out the Cat in the Hat book. You could have a book called Casper, the Friendly Ghost. That could be on the front of the book. Casper, the Friendly Ghost. Then you look up, so Casper, is Casper mad or angry? He mad! No, he's friendly. The answer was, if Casper is nice, mad, or friendly. Mad? The title of the book. Can't even comprehend too well. Have you seen the stats on the education system? These kids are not, most of them are proficient in math and in these classes, math and reading. Most aren't. So you got her son. Where is he at? Where Latiti? Girl, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, ma'am. You ought to be ashamed. But you've got her son. Yeah, here little man is. Not a book in his hand, y'all. Oh, no, not a book in his hand. He has a gun in his hand. And you want somebody to sit up here. You really want someone to sit up here and volunteer to watch the youth. And they're packing heat. Why didn't he just stop? You want somebody to sit up here and watch this at 2 o'clock in the morning? A volunteer? You might be volunteering your life away. And they're wanting volunteers because the video said, the news report said they're trying to relieve the burden for the police. The police, did you not see that? Depleted ranks are at a breaking point. So we have a youth curfew. I guess the parents gave up on the kids. I tell you, sometimes you look at these situations with baby mama. Child, it's just a chick that just met a guy. And she met some dude and got pregnant. And he ran. Sometimes that's what it is, but we don't believe in family. So sometimes it's just some chick child. She have a birth control on, and she just got pregnant by some dude. Who wants to? Now, should he have been shot in the back? No, I wish he just would have darn stopped. Probably wouldn't have happened. But see, people will harp on that. What they don't harp on, when some of these little kids got these guns and they carjacking. We want to go ahead and paint a chimerical picture. It's not even reality, just fake. Well, he had that gun because it's tough out there. Why didn't he just stop? Is he raising himself? And she want to say that is not. No accountability. I guess in her mind, he's 17. He grown. That's what kid be doing. A stolen 9mm. I'm sorry, you bought that little gunshot. A stolen 9mm, y'all. What kind of kid steals a gun? The Boy Scout kind? He's a very. Let me guess. He sang in a choir and he do his homework. And he's a 15 or he's a teenager. We reading on third grade level, but we trying. What kind of kid? Where the kid steal a gun from? And it's in his backpack. So let me guess. You wonder why the teacher's aides, they don't want to deal with these kids, and now the police. It said depleted rank is at a breaking point. What does that tell you? I guess maybe the job is too stressful. I guess the job is too darn stressful. And Miss Kiara, where's his father at? Oh, that dude been ran off. How are you raising your children? And the pastor was right. No accountability. Seek help. Sir, you're old school. We don't believe in family. We believe in just baby momming it up and fatherless homes. Seek help means you're going to have some discipline. That's why your replacement is here. How the heck you going to be with this community? So she really think it's not her fault? Who's in your home? What kind of activities? What are you allowing into the home? And the fact that they're saying a curfew for the summer, that should be enough for any decent parent. So-and-so, Katie, Keisha, Jamal, make sure you guys, Saturday night, you're going to be in this house by 8:30 or 9. I don't care what's going on. If they want to hang out at another parent's house, another kid's house, you would need to meet the parent. We're not doing that. But no, we don't want that. It's just work. These kids, I'm sorry, just put here again. Sometimes you look at it, it is what it is. Some chick just got pregnant and had a son, had a daughter. Why can't the parents respect the curfew? It's to keep the kids safe. 20 to 30 cops, off days canceled. The depleted rank at what? A breaking point. So who can invest with the community at this level? Crime, can't hardly read. Who can invest with this community? Nobody wants to invest when you got teenagers toting guns. And I'm not trying to hear he's a choir boy. Again, the gun was also stolen. It makes me wonder, did she know that he had a stolen gun? It makes me wonder. So your child, I find it interesting that she was not at all shocked that her son had a damn stolen gun. I find that real interesting that she was not at all shocked that her son had a stolen gun. What does that tell you about her parenting skills? Or lack thereof? Your kid got a stolen gun? Where he steal a gun from? And what's he doing with it? And it's in his backpack. But I guess maybe in her household, I guess it's possible she's packing bologna sandwiches along with bullets and a gun for her son. Lady, whose fault is it? This is how you raise. It's how the child's being raised. If the police are exhausted, can you imagine what about the teachers? It's like, I'm sorry to say, it's like a lost generation. That's why I say for Black women, next 5 years, we need to really put their pregnancies on pause. Ain't no way you can justify a teenager having a stolen gun. Why is he running from the cops? Why? They're very dumb. They don't listen. You can't tell them nothing, these teenagers. Why do you say, hey, just stop and see what's the issue? Just stop. I do have a gun in my backpack because I'm scared. No, he knew that gun was stolen. He probably thought, oh, I got this stolen gun and they won't take my gun. You ain't taking my gun. And little TT, Makai, start to run. Now look, a stolen gun. All he had to do was stop them little chocolate drop legs, put the backpack down and hands up. That's all he had to do. Let him take the gun. You know it's stolen. But again, have you noticed? She didn't say anything about, oh my son would have stolen a gun. Surprise, oh, he would never do that. And lets me know she probably already knew, just living all ghetto, fabulous, and hood. She probably already knew the gun was stolen. You know how much a 9mm costs? They're not talking about no $99 now. At least when I bought one, it was, it's a couple $100. But those guns are coming across for no $74.99. How you get a hold to a stolen gun? And what kind of parent would not be enraged or concerned that he's even in possession of a stolen gun? This is why some places don't want that voucher. Your son. And she thinks it's not her responsibility. No, he ain't 5 years old. He's 17. You are still in charge. That's why I said when you fight them like this, it may sound mean. Well, number one, they're going to starve him out anyway. Any kind of benefits, it needs to be stripped of them. And don't be surprised if that happens. Don't be surprised if it happens. I'm telling you now, many of them get ready to lose that little dingy voucher that they have right now because of their son, my grandson. Every time a crime is committed, they know where to find little TT at some place with a woman's name on the lease or the mortgage, and then check back. Oh, you've been on this for a long time. Getting your little voucher. So now this kind of behavior, sorry to tell you, this kind of baby mama is the reason I think a lot of places don't want that little raggedy voucher. Then if you cannot secure a place, expired, you got homeless. See, a lot of times people don't think. They thought the gravy train was going to run forever. A lot of them do not think. And when you get off that program, good luck getting back on, because don't forget what they said. They told the man in Chi-Town, and that can be not just in Chicago. They are focusing or prioritizing the immigrants. What am I going to do? I'm going to figure it out. Change is being done. Deals being made. Life is changing before your eyes. See, the reason that teenager, Makai Franklin, in my opinion, he's shot in the back. I mean, the police just shot him. Wow. And I thought they were supposed to only shoot if they felt threatened. You know? But the reason, unfortunately, he's in trouble today because of what he did yesterday, having a stolen gun. The reason that she's on the news today about her son today is because of the upbringing that happened yesterday. You understand? When he was born. Who's around in your home, ma'am? Some thugs? Who's in your home? I find it interesting that she was not at all surprised that her son had a stolen gun. Did you? Never. I'm surprised the gun was. Well, no, that's the gun that was in the home. She hadn't said jack about it. Why? She probably know that gun is stolen. Look at her. She never said anything about her son. He would never have a stolen gun. Most parents would be outraged. It starts in the home. And I hate to tell you, that's why I think a lot of them are going to be starved out. Running down the street with a gun. I guess the cop was like, oh, man, I'm tired of running. Shot him in the back. He had the gun down. It wasn't pointed at him. What good kid do you know, not saying that he deserved to be shot in the back, what good kid do you know has a stolen gun? He should have heard that song. I fought the law and the law won. Now, shot in the back. We don't know if you're going to be able to walk or anything. Was it near a spine? We just don't know. And here's the sad part. Again, not saying he deserved to get shot in the back, but I will say this here. People are so tired and fed up with the crime, they don't care. They don't care. They're so tired. They're tired of being carjacked by these teens, vandalizing, breaking and entering. People are tired. So some will say, hey, yeah, you're right. He should have been shot in the back. What kind of kid has a stolen gun on him? And as for the mother, what kind of parent is not even surprised that he has a stolen gun on him? She's trying to defend her son. And she really thinks it's not her responsibility. She's not responsible. You are, ma'am. Your man, his disappearing daddy, the seed of poverty D senior, he's responsible. That's his DNA running around here, believe it or not. The two of you. Dusty D, the seed of poverty. This is a good example. The seed of poverty D and Miss Poverty P get together and create a tragedy. Can't have kids just running around with guns in their hands. I mean, I'm just seeing a picture. He's got that gun in his hand. What kind of child does that? Anyway, like I said, thanks for sending me this video. I'm going to try and get to some others. The mindset, it's just, I don't know, like a lost group. There are cultures within cultures. There's people like myself, people like you. We have different ideas. People that want to build, want to leave a legacy. People that are hardworking. I am in pain right now. I'm just going to go somewhere. Cannot. Iced up patches in the whole 9 yards. I'm still doing videos. Hey, at least I can do that. But there are cultures within a culture. And this sector of the culture is what makes it bad for us as a whole. As a whole, it really does. Running wild. Say there's a curfew. Can't get the parents to keep their own darn kids indoors. Speaks volumes. I told you before in the video, they've checked out. I gotta have my life too. The seed of poverty D. Where is his dad? As they say, can kind of have an idea what kind of guy he was or is. Because what the apple does not fall far from the tree. But there's no accountability. That's the part that is disturbing. And again, I find it so interesting that she never said, a stolen gun? My son doesn't carry a gun. Plus a stolen gun? Where did he steal a gun from? We live in Baltimore. Well, if anything, that should be your mission, to tell young women not to become a baby mama. The poverty awaits. So this here, what if her son shot in the back won't be able to walk? Guess what? If he ends up being, crippled with walking or shot in the back and can't walk, oh, she's going to learn real quick whose responsibility it is. It's going to be on her. Again, behavior is learned in the home, but this new part of the group, this other part here, I'm sorry, to me it's just irrational. Then whose responsibility? He's a teenager. He's 17. Whose responsibility is, ma'am, if it's not yours? You and the man. Who's in your home? Who's influencing you? Unbelievable. Anyway, let me know what you all think. We can agree or disagree. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share. This is really sad, and it's really just embarrassing. Again, you wonder why people don't want that voucher? And don't forget, one more I want to mention too. That program for the youth curfew, I think they've earmarked, $1 million for this. Why can't the parents just keep the children in and have them to read? You can establish reading groups. 1 minute is at this person's house, 1 minute is at the other person's house. You could establish math groups. Some of these little kids are real smart and they're younger. Have her or him to teach the others. That's how you move ahead. But they're not about that. It's really sad when you have to spend budget $1 million to pay for time and overtime for the police just to watch the teenagers because they're not going to abide by the curfew, and you want some volunteers. I don't I I don't know anybody who would want to volunteer a teen who's packing a gun at all, and you want some volunteers. This is how you know at the bottom collectively the group is done. You're done, been done, and gonna be put out the pasture. They are, yeah. They're gonna be starved out. Oh yeah. So anyway, let me know what y'all think. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share. I'm really done this time. Unbelievable. Simply Said on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching.